Hi everybody, welcome. Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we are in the garden and we are doing our July garden tour. So if that is something that interests you, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. For those of you who this might be the very first video you're watching, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the content. For those of you who this has been, you've been coming back each week and watching the videos that I do, I appreciate you coming back and watching, subscribing, commenting, and liking my videos. It really does benefit me by you guys doing that. Also, for those of you who have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does benefit YouTubers when you subscribe to their channel, and it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to a YouTube channel. Okay, so let's get into our garden tour. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in our garden tour is going to be our carrots. We have them in our pot here. They are actually doing really well. I watered them the other day and they were just laid down. But yeah, they're actually doing really good. Got quite a good amount of tops on them. Both of them are actually doing really well. So carrots, I will probably never put them in the ground again. They seem to do really well in the pots here, and they seem to grow quite straight. You know, they might not be real big around, but I don't really care about them being real big around as long as I get quite a few carrots in these pots. Okay, so the carrots are doing actually really well. Had quite a bit of growth on them. Let's talk about the next thing that we've had in the garden for the longest is our lettuce. So our lettuce again has gone to seed. It's getting really big. I did pull some out of it and we had it in BLTs the other day because I had one fresh tomato, so I thought we would do some BLTs. It is still very bitter. I don't know if it is the brand of lettuce that I got, but we just do not like it. So I'm just going to end up pulling this out and being done with the lettuce, not even trying to let it grow back. But with the proof that I cut it down the last time, it does grow back. If you don't pull the roots out, it'll keep growing back. So that's good to know when you are trying to get lettuce to keep growing in your garden. Just trim it and it'll keep growing back because the roots will still be there. But yeah, so whatever kind that I ended up getting, we don't like it. So we are just going to throw this away because actually I think that might be kale. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of everything in here. But yeah, so that's where we're at with the lettuce. It did good, but it just doesn't taste good to us. It's very bitter. Okay, so the next thing that I have is my strawberries. They're pretty much done for the season. Not sure, we didn't really get very many strawberries out of this. I think I need to possibly pull them out and maybe get some more, try to see about getting some more strawberries, put some new dirt in there. I don't know, it just, they didn't really do very well. There's a lot of, I don't know, I think the dirt is just going away and there's really not much underneath it. So I need to do a little bit of stuff in the fall with the strawberries, but I probably will be pulling them all out and maybe getting a few more and going from there, or you know, getting my runners and seeing if I can't get some of them to start growing. But yeah, they're really not doing a whole lot. I only got a few, like a handful, maybe a cup and a half of strawberries out of the garden. So we'll see what we've got. But yeah, they're here. I mean, they did something, but I've got a lot of maple trees in there that I got to get out. It's just, they really need a good cleaning out. So I think I'm going to just scrape it all out, possibly put some more new fresh dirt and compost in the top, and then maybe start with some new strawberry plants themselves. But that's where we are with our strawberries. Hopefully we'll have strawberries next year if I do something with them in the fall. Okay, the blueberry bushes are actually done also. Got probably a cup and a half of blueberries off them. There was a lot of flowers, but I really just didn't get a ton of blueberries, and I'm wondering if they are not pot bound in these pots and they just need to go in the ground. They've been in these pots for probably close to 4, maybe 5 years. They did good in them, but they might be now pot bound and they really maybe need to go in the garden. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave them one more winter and see what's going on. They really haven't gotten any bigger, a lot bigger since I put them in the pots. But yeah, I'm going to see what's going on. Maybe I will put them in the ground. Maybe I won't. If I do, I have to put them in the garden here somewhere, and I need to figure out where I'm going to do that. But yeah, the blueberries, I mean, they're still alive, and they had blueberries on them. There's a couple of blueberries right there that are still on here. But they didn't get real big, and we didn't have a ton of them on there. But, I mean, we had blueberries, we got some. So, you know, I mean, at least they're not dead. Okay, now our rhubarb. We have the patch is doing really, really well. I need to, again, do some picking on it and get some of it cut and froze so that I can, you know, it just keeps coming. I need to, you know, give away some more to my neighbor. I have a couple of things I want to make here with rhubarb in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to do that, and we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, we have, that's our rhubarb patch. It's very, you know, I mean, it's just 1 or 2 rhubarb bushes in there, and they do well. But yeah, it's still doing okay. Okay, so now we're coming to our raspberries and our blackberries. And of course, we've been getting quite a few raspberries every day off of here. As you can see, I really need to pick, and I will after I'm done filming. I will pick my raspberries, and then of course, you know, blackberries. Look at that big old blackberry. There's my finger. How big he is. They're huge this year. But I gotta pick my blackberries. They're nice and big. Been getting quite a bit of them but I gotta get them. They're very tall. They're really hanging over all the way over there. Some of those branches are probably 10 feet tall. They're just so heavy. I'm really going to have to cut these down short this year and see if I can't kind of corral them into staying smaller. But yeah, they're really, really tall, and the wind took a beating on them. They were just really tipped over. I broke, you know, 4 or 5 of the canes broke out of the raspberry or the blackberries. But yeah, they're doing really good. I've gotten probably 2 quarts of blackberries and 3 quarts of raspberries so far off of my raspberry bushes. But raspberries are doing really well. Okay, and I have my oregano down here, and as you can see, it's just covered with raspberries. So I'm going to have to dig that out and see if I can't get that, move that somewhere else. It does well in the ground, but maybe I'm going to try to put it in a pot. I don't know. I need to get it out of here. I did not get it cut, and it went to seed on me. So I need to give a good cut it down, and possibly dig it out of there, because the raspberries are going over it, and actually there's probably raspberries in the middle of it right now. But yeah, I need to tone, I'm not going to be able to tone the raspberries down, so in order to be able to save the oregano, I need to just get it out of there and put it somewhere else. But it's still there, I just didn't need it, so I kind of forgot that it was over there because the raspberries cover it. I mean, I'm holding raspberries back to be able to see where it is, because they're down in there. So I just I didn't see it, so I wasn't remembering that I needed to pick it. But yeah, I got to do something with that. Okay, so with my other herbs, this is my basil ready to pick again. I need to give that a cut. I wasn't sure if I cut that off, would it grow back? It does. So that was a test for me this year. I was able to get that to grow back. So I will get that cut off and get it put onto cookie sheets and let it sit in the sun and try to dry here as much as I can let it dry. But I just don't want to turn the oven on to dry it in the oven. So I'll do that. My parsley, it's going to seed. I'm just letting the seeds drop down in there, and hopefully they'll germinate, and I will get parsley for next year. I won't get any this year. I don't think there's enough for it to be this year, but I will get it next year. But yeah, so those are the two herbs. Let's look at our cilantro. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago I ended up picking the cilantro. I ended up cutting it after the video, and it's starting to grow back. Some of it is actually growing to seed. I might want to cut those down, see if it won't grow. But that was another test to see if it will keep growing, or if once it's up, it's completely done and I don't have to worry about it again. But yeah, there's a lot of grass in there I gotta get pulled out. I've been really busy inside doing other things that I just am not getting to the garden, but hopefully with the next couple of weeks we'll calm down a little bit and I'll be able to get out here and do a little bit of gardening and trying to get some of that done. But yeah, so let's look at our beets. So we've got beets in a pot here, and here we have 2 pots of them. They seem to be doing pretty good. They're not getting really big, which we're okay with some small beets. Been watering them every other day right now to try to get them. They need watered again today. I did it 2 days ago, so I need to give them a good drink today. I did, however, take the put 150 gallons of water onto the actual garden itself. With 3 of the barrels I drained out and let them just run and just soak the ground so that all the plants can just reach down and try to get as much of the liquid as they can get. But yeah, so here are our beets, and we have going pretty good. There's a lot of growth in there. I don't know if I really have to pull and see if I have any fruit production under them or if it's just big tops, but we'll see. I didn't really need them. I just had the open pot, and I figured I would try and see if I could do beets again this year in a pot. They didn't do all that well last year, but I thought maybe I just didn't have enough soil or something, so I figured I would try it one more time. I still had the seeds, but we'll see if I get some beets out of it or not. Beets take a long time to grow, so it could be that they're just still trying to produce their fruit. They're not like radishes. They don't go to seed like radishes do. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on them. I won't pull them out yet. Okay, so the next thing is my cucumbers. My cucumber patch took off. Holy cow, it's up the fence, it's around the corner, it's just, they are growing everywhere, which is, I am okay with. So the patch that I had, finally after the 3rd time of planting the seeds, they did actually take, and I was able to, get some good growth on the cucumbers, and hopefully I'll get quite a few cucumbers before they get to the point that they start to wilt and the leaves turn white and they die. It happens every year after it's like almost if they get too old, the leaves start dying. The new growth will be okay, but everything between the root and the end, a lot of that in between there will be dead, but the end, it'll be a mile away and you'll still have growth and cucumbers on that. So we'll see how that's going. I had planted cucumbers in pots on the back porch, and I ended up taking them out of the pots and putting them in pots back here. I probably threw I threw a pack of seeds in there, and I don't know how many cucumbers I got, but there's like 5 plants in here, 3 plants here, and there's probably 8 or 9 plants in that big one there. Still doing really good, doing well, and hopefully I'll get quite a few cucumbers out of it. The bees are loving them, pollinating everything really well. They're all over the place. But yeah, my cucumbers are doing really well. I've pulled 4 or 5 cucumbers so far. I'm hoping I've got a ton of flowers on the cucumbers, and I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'll have quite a few cucumbers. There is an actual cucumber right there. But that's what I'm talking about. The leaves just start to die all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. I just put some more water on these this morning to really just water down where they are. And yeah, I don't know if something broke, if the root broke off and that's just part of where it's dying. I don't know. I've got a couple of them that are dying, but there's a lot of flowers and cucumbers on those, so I'm hoping maybe they'll stay alive till at least we have the cucumbers and then we can cut them off. But I do try to trim them so that I don't have, so it's, the nutrients are not going to the dead leaves if I can, and just going out to the ones that have actual, that are live and have fruit growing on them. Okay, so those are my cucumbers, doing really good, and hopefully I get quite a few cucumbers because I really need to make some relish this year. Okay, so let's talk tomatoes. The tomatoes are doing really well. They are, I mean, my plants are loaded with tomatoes at the moment. I've had one red tomato that I was able to pull off, eat, and we had a BLT last week, which was very, very nice. I love being able to have the fresh tomatoes to have BLTs and stuff like that with. Don't know what I'm going to end up doing with all of the tomatoes that I get. They're just now starting, they're just now starting to turn red. I'm looking as I'm talking to you guys to make sure I don't have any more of those stupid tomato hornworms. There was one there. He ate all of my leaves off there and off of this one here, and I got him gone. I haven't seen any more of them. There was one on this plant as well, and he ate out of 3 really big tomatoes, which I hate that. They eat and they take bites out of 3 or 4 tomatoes, and then the rest of the tomato goes rotten and you can't do anything with it. But I haven't seen any more. There is, can you see that? There's a red tomato starting down there. These are my San Marinero tomatoes, I believe is what they're called. I don't know, I can't find my tag, they're buried. But these are a paste tomato. Trying to get these ones done, and then of course I have my Heinz tomatoes over here, and this is one of the ones that had a red one at. There's a orangey one down in there. You can see him down in there. He'll be ready in a couple of days to eat. These are a nice eating tomato, but they make good, they're good flavor for ketchup and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got these going. There's a couple of red ones, orange ones down in that batch there. But tomatoes are going to start coming, and I should be able to start doing some things with the tomatoes here really soon. But the wind took a toll on them. They were standing up nice and tall, and then that wind we had tipped them over, and they're in cages, but like this cage is leaning sideways. The tomato is completely on the ground, and I don't dare lift it up because I don't want to break the branches on it. They are pretty sturdy, but I just don't need to break them. And actually they have cracked, like that one, it's cracked right there, and if I pull it up, I don't know, I might get disease on the other side of it. So I'm just really trying to be careful not to break them because I don't want them to stop producing right now. They are huge, and we've got a lot of tomatoes, so I'd like to save what I've got. Okay, so now into the peppers. Okay, these are my sweet yum yum peppers. They're the little ones that they don't get very big, but they turn orange. I've got some orange ones on there, as you can see, and it's just loaded with peppers on here so that I'm able to have a ton of peppers. I got 3 of them, and this one's just starting to get peppers on it. It really got bushy, just starting to get peppers. This other one is just got flowers on it. It's a lot further behind, and they were planted at the exact same time, and this one is just now starting to get flowers on it. So hopefully maybe they'll be in 3 stages and I'll get a lot of these peppers. We like them. I save them. They're really good to just chop up with some onion and save into the freezer for peppers and onions with pierogies, or just into any stir fries and stuff like that. I'll just fry them up and have them to do on sausage and stuff like that. But we have a lot of, I grow 3 of these peppers so that I can have a lot of those, because I save at least 12 to 14 quart bags of these a year to use throughout the winter and the summer. I'll use them all up and then I'll save them again, just because I have them, and that's pretty much what I try to do. So I've got to start working on those again in the house. But this other pepper that I have here, he's quite a bit further behind than everybody else. I found a huge tomato worm on here, and he just was eating everything. He ate all of the branches there on that, and he just, I mean, he was just going to town, and every time a pepper would start out, he would just eat it. I mean, he was huge. So I got him off, and the plant's starting to get some life back into it again. But yeah, hopefully I'll get some peppers out of here, that he didn't dwarf it too bad that it's not gonna give me anything. But then this little guy over here, I've already picked one big bell pepper from him, and he's got 2 other ones on here, but I have no other flowers on this one. So I'm hoping I'll get, oh, there's a flower over here starting. So maybe I'll start getting some more peppers, but I probably should pop those ones off and use those, and maybe it'll push to get some more flowers on it and be able to get a few more peppers. But we don't normally eat a ton of green peppers. We like the little sweet orange peppers that we get on the Yum Yum plants. But I always try to grow these just to have them. This was a new one to me. This was a California Wonder Pepper, or Wonder Pepper. It's supposed to be a nice big sweet pepper, so we'll see. I haven't tasted it yet. Well, I did, actually. I did. I used it into a salad or something that we had, into potato salad that I made, and the leftover pepper I ended up just eating, and it was actually pretty good. It wasn't as bitter as a green pepper usually is. So, you know, if that's the case, we'll be getting these peppers, because we really just don't like the bitterness of the green peppers when they start growing. They're just too bitter, and we just don't like them, so we usually don't end up eating them. But that is it for the what's in the garden. Let me go out and show you my cherry tomatoes on the outside of the garden. Okay, so I have 2 pots out on the outside of the garden of cherry tomatoes, and there is quite a few tomatoes on these. These usually do pretty well. They are drying out really bad this year, and I have been watering these. They have been getting water. I don't know, they just don't look like they're doing too well, and it might be that the soil just really isn't all that good anymore. I don't know. I haven't dumped the soil out of these. I just fluff it up and add a little bit to the top, and then put a new tomato in here every year. So the soil might be a little old, and I might need to really dress it up for next year. But these are just, if I get a handful of tomatoes out of here, that's nice. Just enough to eat with a salad or something like that. We don't do, neither me or my husband are really big on sitting eating just tomatoes, popping them in your mouth with the sweet cherry tomatoes. We're not big on that. But I like growing them because they are really, really super sweet. And sometimes it's just nice to have a little cherry tomato when you have a salad. But that is it, guys, for the tour of my garden. Well, guys, that was it for my garden tour for July. Hope you enjoyed it. Everything seems to be growing really, really well, getting a lot of produce will start showing. I'll start doing probably little snippets here and there on Instagram and Facebook. So if you guys don't follow me on those 2 platforms, hop over there and follow me on those 2 platforms if you want to see what we're pulling out of the garden daily. When it starts producing, I'll usually take pictures and show my garden haul of what I have each day. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!